Hey guys, today we're going to talk a little bit about scatter plots. Okay, you're going to use scatter plots a couple times throughout this unit. Okay, so make sure you get all these notes down. Okay, a scatter plot, let's go ahead and start with the term here. Okay, a scatter plot is a graph with points plotted to show a relationship between data. Okay, a graph with points plotted to show a relationship between data. Okay, now, once you have that down, go ahead and take a look at the graph below about the cookies in the jar. Okay, you'll notice that this right here is a scatter plot. So this is generally what you're going to be looking for when you see a scatter plot, just different points plotted in different spots on the graph. Okay, a couple terms you need to know. First is correlation, and there's two things about correlation you need to know. So go ahead and get ready to write a little bit. Okay, a correlation describes a relationship between two data sets. So for example, on the graph above, okay, you were comparing cookies and time since baked. So that would be those are the two sets that it's comparing or finding the relationship of. Okay, the other thing you need to know about correlation is it can help you analyze trends and make predictions. Okay, it can help you analyze trends and make predictions. Okay, make sure you get all that written down, important stuff. All right. Okay, so when you're talking about correlation, there are three different types. Okay, the first is positive correlation. Okay, positive correlation, if you were to draw a picture of it, you would have different points that have a general uptrend. Okay, so when you have positive correlation, both sets of data are going up. Okay, so you'll notice that your Y data is going up, your X data is going up. Okay, so positive correlation, general uptrend. The second type is called negative correlation. Okay, negative correlation. And when you have negative correlation, you're going to have a general downtrend with your data. Okay, so on this one, it looks like your Y values are going down, your X values going up. So just in general, one set of data values increases as the other set decreases. Okay, the last one is no correlation. Okay, when you have no correlation, you'll just have data points that are all over the place on your graph, and there's not really a relationship between the data sets. Okay, so here's the three different types of correlation that you will need to know. All right, we've got a little bit left to learn today, but before we do, got a joke for you. Did you hear about the injured vegetable? Think about it. Think about it. Some say he got beat. Yeah. All right. So we've learned a little bit about scatter plots and the different types of correlation. Now we're going to learn about trend lines and predictions. Okay, so the first term you need to know is that a trend line or line of best fit a trend line or a line of best fit is drawn on scatter plots to make predictions. Okay? Now when you draw a trend line, it's basically an average of the dots that are on the line. So for example, if we were looking at this guy, cookies in the jar, you would want to draw a line that was kind of representative of the average of the points. Okay, so a trend line might look something like this for this example. You just want to draw a line that cuts through the middle or makes an average of the dots. Let's try another one. Okay, on this one, it might look something like this. Okay, now everyone's might be slightly different, but in general, they should look the same. Okay, now let's do a couple of examples here. It says, based on a trend line, predict how many wrapping paper rolls need to be sold to raise $500. Okay, and we want to draw our trend line. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so if we draw the trend line, it should look something right like that. Okay, so there's our trend line. And we want to figure out how many rolls we have to sell to make $500, because that's what it was telling us to do up here. So if we zoom in on this, and we go to $500 right here, make this a different color, $500, okay, and we go ahead and go over, we see that if you go down, to make $500, you have to sell 75 approximately rolls of paper. Okay, so on our blanks here, it says find the value on the line whose y value, okay, y, remember, is your y to the sky. So you had have 500 here, and if you find the corresponding point on the x-axis, you're going to have 75 rolls. Okay, so you're going to use scatter plots to predict a lot of different things this unit, so you need to know how to draw a trend line. All right. Okay, it says the scatter plot shows the number of orders placed for flowers before Valentine's Day at one shop. Based on this relationship, predict the number of flower orders placed on February 10th. Okay, so let's draw our trend line. Something like that. Okay, and we want to figure out how many flower orders were made on February 10th. Okay, so if we go down to February 10th, and go up until we hit our graph, and then head over to your y-axis, it looks like you should be right in the ballpark of about 27 to 28 orders. Okay, so this is something that you can use in the business world. If you graph different things, you can predict how your business is going to do and what you need to have in your store. So very useful tool. Okay, last one. It says the scatter plot shows a relationship between the total amount of money collected at the concession stand and the total number of tickets sold in a movie theater. Based on this relationship, predict how much money will be collected at the concession stand when 150 tickets have been sold. Okay, so your x-axis talks about tickets sold, and we need to go ahead and find where 150 is. Now, 150 is kind of right in the middle here, because each tick goes up by 20. So if we go up and hit our graph here, and then head over to your y-axis like we have been doing, okay, you'll see that since these go up by 100, here's 700. Okay, so you would be at $750. Okay, so so if you sold 150 concession stand tickets, you would have made $750. Okay, so this stuff's not so bad. Make sure you have all these notes down. You understand it. If you need to rewatch, that's fine. And then go ahead and get started on your homework. See ya.